And just like that, Nifty number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9.
Number 9.
Hello, Mr. Travis Wright.
Number 9?
Number 9.
Seems like number 1 still.
Nope, this is number 9.
Wow, time seems to fly in the Nifty space.
It does. And it is a stacked, packed, snacked show. If you have snacks, and it's a snacky show as well. We've got Dan Kelly from NonFungible.com is going to be sharing data and stats with us. We've got an update on what happened with the Super Miles giveaway via Upland.me, and something amazing just happened with the Blockchain Heroes physical deck of cards that we sold. We'll tell you more about it today. Let's get nifty.
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Travis and Joel are the hosts, you'll know. Travis and Joel say this won't blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go! It's the Nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty Show.
I showed my whole desktop, didn't I? Like I didn't just show the window. I showed my whole desktop so you guys can see all the things that are going on here. But that's what happens when you produce the stuff yourself.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you seem distracted. What's on your mind?
There's just lots of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff. You guys have tuned into our Telegram group and see all the stuff that's going on. There's so many moving parts and lots of stuff going here and there, and it's been crazy.
It is crazy. We'll talk specifically about the craziness here in just a little bit. But first of all, I want to make sure that we give proper placement to the sponsor of the Nifty Show, which are our friends at NFT.cred. And these guys support third-party tokens and long-tail event engagement. So basically, they curated a series of New York-themed limited edition NFT artworks with a company called Known Origin. They're going to be sharing this with NFT.NYC attendees. And let me show you what this looks like. They actually did a blog post of these 327 limited edition NFT artworks shared with NFT.NYC 2020 attendees. There's an article here all about it. Known Origin is one of the fastest growing Ethereum art platforms on the decentralized web. And you can kind of see, this is Nifty 2020 here. This is by Mira Takiro, or this one's by Mira Takiro, New Humanity. Look at that, Trav.
So where are those located at? So because we were attendees to that, where did we find that in our swag bag?
That is a really, really great question. And if you go to, first of all, if you were an NFT NYC attendee, then you're going to get these in the swag bag you've already claimed. If you weren't, then what you want to do is go to, you want to actually shoot an email. I think that's the best way, because you're not registered for NFT NYC, but they want you guys to get them as well. So send an email to Cameron at nft.nyc and they'll get you an NFT. Okay, super easy. Just write that down. Cameron, Cameron at nft.nyc. And I'm not sure if they'll get you one piece of art or if they're going to give you a swag bag. There's not a lot of them available. So I would shoot that email off to him, open up another tab. And thanks to the guys at Cred for making this possible.
Yeah. Or go to app.nft.nyc.wallet.
Yeah, you know me.
Or not.
All right, well, let's bring our guest in here today, Travis. I discovered NonFungible.com recently and saw all the data that they're tracking. NonFungible was started by Dan Kelly and a guy named Zoop, like Zoopson, with the purpose of creating the link between the different communities of the NFT ecosystem and to provide support and service to both project leaders and consumers of non-fungible token products. Daniel Kelly, known as Dafkey 2000. Welcome to the Nifty Show, sir.
Welcome.
Hey, Dan.
We're talking to you, Dan.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? You know what he was? He was probably watching the show in another browser and had
And then
the
he was
audio
waiting.
set up to that, and he doesn't realize that he's with us right now. Yes, we're talking to you. Okay. Well, when he hears
Hey,
something,
thanks you so much
there
for
you
having
are.
me.
Hey, man, good to see you.
Excited to
Are you on
share
a delay or are you good?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yep, you sound great, brother. So nonfungible.com. Tell us what your mission is there. I think he's listening to the stream on delay, which I warned him beforehand. I said, Dan,
You did. You said don't listen to the
It
stream.
looks like I'm having a bit of a delay.
I don't think you're actually listening to us, but he'll get it in a second from now.
he will. He's going to be like, oh, well, he dropped off. Okay. He'll be right back. I'm going to, while he's figuring that out, let me pull up nonfungible.com and show you guys. Yay, live. There he is.
Is that any better?
Now you're with us live.
Awesome.
Good to see
You
you.
were watching the stream, weren't you?
No?
We told you not to watch the stream because you'd be at a delay.
No,
Uh-oh.
I wasn't. Anyway, tell us a little bit about how you got started with Non-Fungible and what it's all about.
So I got started back in 2018 with Decentraland. I kind of saw the buzz around CryptoKitties, and I was in the ICO field, so I started researching all these different projects. I was introduced to Decentraland through their Mana token, and I just thought the use case was incredible. It's like such a perfect fit. This metaverse is the way to represent ownership in a metaverse with absolute certainty on the blockchain.
And you were like, nonfungible.com. Yes, I will register that.
Absolutely. So I have like 150 domain names. I was heavily into the scene, so I looked it up. It was available. I bought it.
I bet you couldn't believe it was available.
I was ecstatic. I did not expect it at all. I mean, it's just a common English word. So I own one other single word domain. They're hard to come by.
Well, I don't know if it's common. I don't like, maybe amongst us it is, but how many people walk around every day and say, well, that's non-fungible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an English word in the English dictionary. Those domains are hard to come by.
Yes, but so is pneumona ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. I'll bet you that .com is taken as well.
Or it's too long.
Nobody can spell that, Mr. Joe Com. So probably it's available.
Go buy it now.
I can't even say half of what it Humanuka Apawa'a. Something.
No, that's the Hawaiian fish.
Oh yeah, something like that. That was not even correct. See, I can't even say it correctly. So that domain's available.
Yeah, so I started building a marketplace and kind of scrapped that when I saw Rarebits and OpenSea doing such an incredible job, and the amount of funding they were getting at the time was I wasn't about to compete with it. So kind of pivoted after a couple months and built like an analytics platform. There's nobody else out there doing that when the Decentraland marketplace launched. So I think I developed that in overnight or 2 nights, and then quickly started adding other projects. So
I have to share this just because this is hilarious. So the domain is available. Somebody's trying to resell it for $1,795.
Somebody's trying to resell it. Nice.
Yeah, pneumona ultramicroscopic.
Is that the longest word in the English dictionary or something?
It is the longest word in the English language. Any guess what it means?
Microscopic, like pneumonia, microscopic. I don't know, like tiny microscopic things, like germs that are in volcanoes.
Really, really close. The short version is pneumoconiosis, and that is the medical terminology for coal miners, black lung disease.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you were that was really good, Mr. Travis, right?
Well, you can see the words in there. If you break it all down, that's how the word was created. And so I was like, let's
see the words.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. So tell us more about non-fungible. So what is the purpose of non-fungible? What did the value folks get by going to that site? What kind of information are you curating, and what's the good stuff?
And you're free, feel free to share your screen there if you want, Dan. Shout outs to those of you watching on Theta and YouTube, by the way. Glad that you guys are here. Thanks for tuning into the Nifty show.
Okay. Yes.
Super rare. That's the big one, huh?
They are doing really well the past couple days, well, the past couple months, to be honest. The crypto art industry has been taking off. Several known origin, makers place, rareable, super rare. They're all up there. So we built the site to track individual NFT sales. So at the token level, where every token is unique. So we can track the history of sales of a specific piece of work. So if we look at some of these, most of these only have one sale. But typically, if there are more, should check a different.
Michael Jordan made a Pokemon piece of art. Different Michael Jordan. While you're pulling that up, last week we had Duncan and Griffin Cock-Foster from Nifty Gateway on, and people can buy on their platform with fiat or Ethereum. Are you tracking their fiat sales as well?
Not currently. So that's something we are working on, connecting directly to APIs. It gets a little tricky. So right now we strictly track the blockchain. So we know that everything is verified in that sense. We didn't want to expose ourselves to manipulation at the very beginning, but we're starting to see companies like Nifty Gateway, really legitimate platforms with good intentions. So like we need to figure out how to get them tracked quickly.
Yeah. What about Wax and the Atomic Hub? Because we know that for the Atomic Hub, the last 7 days have been higher volumes than some of the ones listed on that right there. So is Wax and Atomic Hub and some of those Wax marketplaces going to be on your platform soon?
Absolutely. I can't speak to how soon, but Wax is definitely at the top of our list of priorities when it comes to other blockchains. They're doing some really cool stuff with very unique IP and stuff like that. So they are definitely at the top of our list. Just with the GPK launch, that was incredible. So,
yeah. So what are we looking? This is Decentraland here?
Yeah, this is one individual piece of land in Decentraland. So we can see the sales history of it, the provenance of the buyers and sellers. So initially it was purchased at 9,000 mana. At the time, that was about $1,500. And then a year ago, with 26,000 mana, which translated at the time to 1174. So we do track the historical USD value of the tokens that stuff was purchased in. And we can do some really cool analytics on that. And hopefully users are able to use the search parameters to do some very rudimentary valuation on tokens that they're looking to buy or sell. So they know they're not getting completely ripped off.
Now that looks really handy to be able to, like, for example, we have Blockchain Heroes and some of our cards we've already given out and some promo cards. And we're like curious, like, oh, like that Celestial Founders card that we gave away. People are selling that on the secondary market. I wonder what the range is that people have sold this at. We don't have no way to sort that yet.
Exactly. So that's what we really aim to do. Like our databases are quite large, but they're very flexible. So like I can search all roadside parcels in Decentraland. We'll see a much higher value in here.
That's good. I'm large and inflexible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't bend at all.
Right. No, our database is large and very flexible. It's we got it on the very strict yoga regime.
Go ahead and pull your mic in a little bit, Dan, or turn up your volume.
Sorry.
Just
there you go. Is that better?
Yeah, if you can turn it up a little bit, that probably wouldn't be bad. Just because we're so boisterous and loud.
It's true.
I don't want to.
So on your database, what is the highest NFT to ever go for sale so far, based on what you're tracking?
Am I too loud right now?
Nope, that's good.
Okay. Some of the highest sales were, I believe CryptoKitties still holds that status of highest sale. The one that they sold, there was definitely something funny going on, but there was one that was sold in an auction that was very well publicized.
That was the one on Nifty Gateway, right? Because they said
like Momo Wang or somebody created it.
This one, it was the #1 kitty that was sold in like a traditional auction house. This top one, there's a lot of speculation to whether that was wash trading.
Right.
That was probably money laundering.
Something. But that's one of the challenges we're also trying to solve, is being able to identify these trends and identify wash trading, and be able to either filter it out or show some sort of indication of that.
When you say wash trading, what do you mean?
So users trading the same NFT back and forth between wallets to get that influence on platforms like ours or on
Right.
DappRadar, where they're tracking that data, where they're tracking that volume, right?
Ah,
So it's super simple for me to trade a piece of or a crypto kitty back and forth to myself for, well, if I had it, 100 Ether, and just do that all day long. And that would inflate the metrics on pretty much all of the platforms out there. I know DappRadar is doing some interesting stuff with that. And I know some others.
well, if you've
are
been
working.
traded more than like 5 times back and forth, you can tell it's probably BS.
So we've seen that recently with some other projects. I don't want to point them out, but it's pretty easy to identify once you have the data in this kind of format.
Point them out. Go ahead.
All right, let's see.
Like let's talk about about who's shady here.
And it's not necessarily that they're shady. I think they're trying to do some experimentation, and they maybe weren't paying attention to what the consequences could have been. So Rarible recently launched their governance token. I believe it is given out to, it is airdropped to traders based on the value of trades they are doing.
Is it that yellow R?
Yeah. Let's see, it was a couple days ago.
I saw the yellow R back on the previous page in the cube.
Oh no, not sure if that was it. Let's see if I can search it in the filters here.
There's we're gonna have to go over to DappRadar and show Mr. Travis right after we're done with this segment the top collectibles, because they're tracking those over there now as well.
Right.
Along with marketplaces and social and games. And
Here
stuff.
we go.
Ah.
So these DappRadar assets here, or sorry, these aren't DappRadar. These are DappReview assets.
Okay.
You can see it's traded, same buyer, same seller, just back and forth. And you see the value on that is crazy.
Right. And this is the blockchain. I mean, it's all transparent.
Yeah. And then immediately after him, we see someone else trying to do it, doing the same thing. And I believe Rarible caught it, and they are not going to give them any rewards for this kind of stuff. So it's not intentional.
Yeah, no rewarding for bad behavior, douches. You like that?
Yeah. So, but this is the kind of stuff we're trying to be able to identify and filter. Right now, it's all manual when we see it, but we have the data to do it automatically.
So what's the benefit for them for watching it? Because they get a reward for what?
Well, if you come and look at nonfungible.com, they are number 3 on Rarible. Oh, sorry, them specifically. They get a reward of the Rarible governance token that they created based on the value of NFTs that they've bought or sold. And I mean, this is not isolated to Rarible. This has happened on many other projects, and that's kind of a problem with blockchain. You don't know if it's the project, if it's some community member who's trying to protect their investment or market it for the team, or some bad actor who's trying to put a bad image on them, right? It could be any spectrum of those kind of people.
Right.
So the more action their tokens get, the more tokens they get rewarded.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So Dan, what are you seeing as far as trends? I know you're charting all of this. It's not just like this, but I know you've got some charts that show volume by day, month, year, and love to see what kind of trend lines you're spotting.
Here's the general stuff that we have on our website. This is all exportable for you to do your own data analysis. This is just some global stuff. There was
a chart that I saw earlier, though. They had this huge spike for crypto kitties in it when that happened.
So let's check out that. This is directly on our database backend. Just going to move some windows around here. So
that's the kitties right there.
that's the kitties right here. 13 million. This is on a weekly basis. I think that's Sunday to Monday or Monday to Sunday.
And there's nothing that's made the dent like that did, even GPK, or are you not tracking? You're not tracking GPK?
No, we're not. That's the thing. We're not tracking wax yet.
So if you,
I would assume think about it, it wouldn't be 13 million because they had 110,000 cards. It would have been 100,000. So it would have been a blip.
Right.
But it's also tracking secondary market.
Yes.
Right.
It's still.
Which would probably be about closer to 1 million. So it would be at least a little blip down there.
it would double one of these little blips.
Yeah. Oh,
These are all
plus
100,000.
Blockchain Heroes isn't even on there.
Well,
Right.
that would put a
Yeah.
pretty big blip right at the end there for
There'd
sure.
be like
You guys just did something.
We did. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later in the
Cool,
show.
cool.
Can you eliminate the crypto kitties from it so we
Absolutely.
can kind of see what the chart looks like for normal people? The chart for normal people. And now,
Okay, there we go. So these are all I've selected. You can see all the projects here. Basically, they're all collectible projects. We can see, yeah, back to the beginning, there not too much action, but there is some clear increase towards the end of it. This is terms of the sum of USD of assets traded. So it's not necessarily including bids or any of that stuff that DApp Radar or the other platforms would include. This is only sales. We have some other stuff. So if we want to make it a little bit more readable, we can do that as a moving 4-week average. It kind of smooths it out a little bit. You can do a moving 12-week average. And we can kind of see a little bit better of a trend line.
what is that from 2018 where there was the bigger spike there?
This is MLB champions. Yes.
Is that persisting or is it fading away?
I think for the most part it's persisting. Like everything else, I mean, there's a hype and then there's a major die down. So they've definitely contributed to the sustained growth that we've had since they launched. But it's definitely not anywhere near this high.
That was like 2018 when they did that. And then there's the blip for 2019, probably
So
the next baseball season.
As I'm looking at all the names of the ones you're tracking, I don't even know most of these. Sneaker Cred, Polytope, Meme Factory, Kudos Token, Nifty Moji, Plasma Bears, Mutant Monsters, Mokins, Blockmark Gems, Scullies, Crypto Atoms, Crypto Mibs, Chain Faces.
these are, I mean, Marble Cards was pretty big. Sneaker Cred looks pretty cool. There's just tokenized like sneakers. Meme Factory's been around for a while. Obviously, CryptoPunks, MLB Champions, yeah. A lot of these.
I don't know if we're qualified to do an NFT show, Mr. Joe Come now after
Oh, we got to learn about this stuff. We weren't qualified to start Bad Crypto when we started that either. We're still not.
So here, this is MLB Champions alone, just to give you an idea. We had this, a nice spike there, another little wave, and it's died down considerably.
Well, they took a knee right there. That's
there it is.
And two, they haven't released anything in quite some time. So
right, and there's no.
Well, they have another 2020 season yet, right? So you can see where they released it. But look at just how the 2018 season was, and then how the 2019 season was. Like the 2019 season is just like a
a little hump there.
Yeah,
diehards.
So let's get rid of this again. So some other interesting stuff we can follow. Unique wallets that are trading on the market, so market makers essentially. Let's see that one. So yeah, we saw a huge increase towards the middle of 2018, and that's kind of sustained. It looks like we're seeing some decent growth. And again, this is only for collectibles, so that's pretty interesting. Towards we put out our report, our 2019 token NFT token report. And I mean, globally, overall, the collectibles took a large hit in terms of market share. And we believe a large part of that was the CryptoKitties hype. So
large part of that was what? The crypto what?
The CryptoKitties hype.
Oh, okay.
So it's interesting to see that coming back, but in other projects. It's kind of getting diversified a little bit.
I think, we just reported on our bad news episode of Bad Crypto, the most recent, that Dapper signed a deal with Dr. Seuss's estate, and they're going to be releasing those characters in different variations. I think that's going to do really well.
I think that's going to do extremely well. I think, and it's going to be on Flow, and I think we're going to get a lot of pressure, the same as we are on Wax, to get that implemented as soon as possible. And they recently did the NBA launch as well.
So what are the so right now you're covering pretty much Ethereum, right?
Yes, we are covering only Ethereum, but pretty well globally all of Ethereum for
All of
NFTs.
Ethereum, but then a lot of stuff is not happening on Ethereum now because of the gas fees. And so it seems like all new projects, or at least the majority of new projects, are taking place on other blockchains where they don't have those exorbitant those fees. I know Joel was talking about the other day. He said, "Oh, I wanted to buy this $1 NFT over here, and I bought it, and then it cost me $5 in gas to send it to my wallet." So I was like, "That's not sustainable."
Yeah,
So,
it was from Digitable.
yeah, Digitable. Yeah. So how soon until you get some of these additional blockchains on non-fungible?
Like I said, I can't give any dates.
I want a date, damn it. Now.
Not happening. So it's difficult. We need to be able to measure the volume and measure the user base to determine if there's a community there that really needs our product and the platform that we're providing. Historically, we haven't been able. There hasn't been many projects who did kind of meet even any sort of minimum criteria. I think it's only been recently with Wax, and now Flow is going to be next. That these places they are starting to take a serious market share.
Yeah. What about Engine? Engine's doing some cool stuff with in-app.
That's Ethereum.
That's Ethereum. And if you look at the data, the volume is on a good week maybe equivalent to one ERC 721 project. They are doing they're kind of semi-fungible assets, so I think a lot of them are they have less value on a per piece basis. If gas
wait.
Problem.
That's a term I've not heard. Semi-fungible. What do you mean by that?
So the token standard supports both fungible tokens and non-fungible tokens. You can have multiple editions of the same NFT. So I think you guys are doing packs of cards or something like that. If you have multiples of the same card, Engine handles that pretty well. To have 10 variations of the exact same item. And they have batch transferring methods and batch minting methods. And if you want to use one contract to manage your governance token or some other token within your ecosystem, then you can keep that same standard across both kinds of tokens.
Okay. All right. We decided, Joel, let's go switch it over to Engine then, I guess.
I think it's a little late right now.
It sounds like Wax was a good choice.
Might be
Wax is great. They ain't whack at all. They're great.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. NonFungible.com. Dan, thanks for coming on, sharing with us here. Of course, you guys can see some of the latest non-fungible token news. They've got their Twitter plugged in, all the charts. If you click on volume by all time, you could see Chris Cyborg's only made 2 cents. There's one sale, but CryptoKitties, Decentraland, My Crypto Heroes, Gods Unchained, Foam Signal is a new one. They've sold 2,250 of nothing, it looks like. Oh, that's the last 7 days. Never mind. Right. 3.2 million. Good job, Foam. Crypto voxels and so on. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we want to see Wax, Dan.
I will keep it at the top of our priorities, and I'll look into implementing it for sure.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. Appreciate you coming on today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Cheers.
Appreciate you. All right.
There's Travis Wright. For some reason, it's like sharing my whole screen when I share stuff. I don't know exactly why that is. I do want to pop over here though to DApp Radar, and let's see. I'm actually checking on Theta to see if it's sharing my whole screen or the window like I'm asking it to. They're tracking collectibles now from all the different chains, and the top one here is on Tron. It's called Crypto Tree. You ever heard of that?
Never heard of it.
Cryptos don't grow on trees.
So I would suspect that we may be on there eventually.
Tops GPK is number 2. I'm curious though. It is a value nurturing crypto collectible. This looks like an Asian app right here. I can tell because I'm super smart and see that that is Japanese or Korean. Sorry, I don't know which, but there it is. It is out of Beijing actually, so it might be a Chinese. Can't read any Asian, gang. I don't know. Just as trees in nature, trees grow up year after year, and so are their values. So I guess you grow a tree, and
well, they did say money does not grow on trees, but money can grow on cryptos.
Maybe it does. I'm opening it up here, and there's no English. Oh yeah, there is English. There we go. Yes, please. English me. Issue 600,000 crypto trees on basis of blockchain, and each crypto tree is a unique crypto collectible. One person can apply for one crypto tree for free and absolutely enjoy the ownership. So I guess we click access here, and I want to get a free tree. There's no English here. So I don't know what to do.
Well, at least there was a little bit of English to let you know to get to the spot.
Yeah, you can get a free tree, but unless you
as long as you can translate
Chinese,
this.
Yeah, it is cool that DAP Radar is now tracking collectibles too.
Was that 32? Was that 32,000 in one day, or what was that?
Let me go back to the collectible thing. So again, this is based on Tron. Looks like 782 users, 65,000 in Tron. So $910. I mean, it's not they're giving away free trees.
Well, they need to get wax up on there.
Well, Topps GPK is right here.
Yeah.
So if we click
well, I was just
wax,
saying we had a little success this past week with our blockchain heroes, but it's not on this list.
Well, they don't know yet that. I mean, they're probably not scanning the chain for every project. Probably need somebody who's watching right now, write DAP Radar and say, "Hey guys, BCH on DAP Radar."
Yeah.
List. Yeah.
We had some NFTs we sold this past week that worked out pretty well.
And giving away some. Last week on the show, Travis, we had Dirk Lewis from Upland.me on, and we made this promotion live while we were on the show. And the competition was to get a Super Miles Blockchain Heroes card, and they had 48 hours to compete to acquire the most properties in the Merced Manor neighborhood. And how quickly did they sell out?
1 hour, less than 1 hour.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was, so after that 1 hour, all the properties were sold. But then if you still wanted to get a deal, like I had 9, and under that hour, I was then like in 30th place. And I was like, what? So I had to jockey for position and trade other people and buy other properties on the secondary market. And that lasted until Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then there they are.
This is you right here, number 23. So there was great competition. They sold out the whole neighborhood, and the guy who came in first, well, they don't show here, this goes down to number 6, but they were minted in order of the winners. And there's only 25 of these now ever in existence.
And I saw one sold for 4,600 wax the other day, which was about $250.
That's all right. Not bad for a super llama.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you figure I was doing some of the math on this, and the first place guy bought 117 properties at about 8,000 UPIX per property. So that's a pretty significant chunk of change. So probably that token for that card was probably not even equal to the value of what money they spent to get the properties.
Right. You know what? They wanted the card. They got the card.
Yep.
Speaking of cards, we did a thing. We came up with an idea last week during our Blockchain Heroes community meeting, and Wednesday we sprung that thing a week later onto our community. That was in packed Zoom room. Our apologies to those of you that couldn't get in. I'm expanding our capacity on Zoom for next week to like 300, so everybody will get in. But we did a thing.
We did do a thing, and it was pretty fun. So, what we did was we've been really listening to the audience, right? We were asking them what they want, and one of the I don't have the physical cards handy, but the previous week, we asked them. So we were going to get some decks made for ourselves, and when we got the samples sent to us, they looked really cool, and we showed them to our fans and audience, and they said, "Oh yeah, we would love to have some." I think like 90% of the people or more said they would want to have some.
Yeah, there's the sample card right there. There's the test sample of a regular card, and there's a test sample of the Shockwave luminescent holographic card.
Refractor.
refractifying. So we said, let's do this. Let's package them up and let's kickstart this project. And the way we're going to do it, you go to Kickstarter.com, you make your pledge, and the sooner you get in, the cheaper your product is going to be, right? And then they make the product. Well, we made these 2 NFTs, the Hero deck and the Titan deck. And we put these NFTs up on Atomic Hub, starting with 100 Hero decks and 50 Titan decks, knowing that we would have a cap of 750 total decks, 500 and 250. And how long did it take for those first series of 150 decks to sell out?
A little less than 3 minutes.
We were like, what? Okay, put up more decks.
It was like whenever you have like a pond full of hungry fish and somebody throws some fish food in there and they all snag out all the fish, like all the fish food's gone in like 3 minutes. That's what happened. Look at
So,
that. Sold out, sold out.
An FYI in the YouTube live right now is somebody just wash traded a Super Miles on Atomic for $1,000.
Wash traded.
Yeah, so I don't know how they know it was, because that's what Dan was talking about when one person.
So basically, what, he had another account and then bought it from the other one and then sent it over to his other account.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you prove that was another account.
Well, since there's that 8% fee, so even if they wash traded it, that would still cost them about $80.
Still cost them $100 because there's
$100, yeah.
1% for the market, in 8%. So he says it's just a guess that it was a wash trade. It might have been a real sale. Pork Shake is the one who says this. What number mint was that, Pork Shake? Let me know what number mint that was that sold. So this is a screenshot from the pre-sale when decks were still, in a time when decks were still available. And they're not now, though. Let me pull up Atomic Hub and we can take a look at the current state of the market with these. While I do this, why don't you explain what comes, how this is going to work?
So basically the way this was set up is we created these NFTs. It's sort of like a Kickstarter. Is you buy this deck, you get the NFT sent to you. We're going to get those decks printed. And once those decks are printed, we're going to send them out. But to send them out, you're going to send us back the NFT, and we're going to then send you a form that has your name and address on it. And then we're going to send that out to you. And then when you get the deck, it's going to have a QR code where you're going to be able to scan it. It will then send you the new NFT of proof of ownership, as well as, depending on if you bought a Hero deck or a Titan deck, you're going to either get 2 free cards, new NFTs, digital cards, or if you got a Titan deck, you're going to get 5 new digital cards. And so these physical decks actually come with digital NFTs. And so I don't know that anybody's ever done what we just did on this thing. It was a pretty cool, groundbreaking thing. I know some people were saying that Virals had done something similar to this, but we were groundbreaking on this and doing things.
There you go.
What?
There it is. It's Mint 24. It's the most recent sale there. From this wallet to that wallet. We could do a little digging here. Like, let's see, this is the seller. This is the beauty of blockchain. It's all public and transparent.
Well, that would have been the person who got number 24, who would have been tied with me and had the place after me.
Right. I actually would know who that would be then based on the wallet. He's only got one other. He's got an Upland. Makes sense. He's an Upland fan. And now let's take a look at the new owner is this wallet here. Obviously a bad crypto and blockchain heroes fan, because this person has got 2 Titan decks and 2 Hero decks.
Well, he bought them too. Look at that guy bought those in the very first batch too. Look at that.
Yes, this was somebody who was on the initial release and
would have been on the call with us.
Yeah, had to be. Only way would have. But he's got a lot of cards. This is a real collector here, so it's very possible that this isn't a wash. That somebody was like, you know what, I need to.
Maybe it's time to sell number 23 then, man. If number 24 is going for $1,000, number 23 can go for like $1,100, $1,001.
Somebody is selling their own Parody Kids cards. There's our.
Did all of those sell?
What?
Oh, is that the last one that hasn't sold yet?
No, this is number 1 that was listed. It sold. I think there's others that are still out there, and nice. We airdropped the this one today with the help of Jonah at Atomic Hub. Thanks, Jonah. 509 of these were minted. We had a lot of people that requested one of these. They were free. And if you're not listening to Bad Crypto, you're missing out on free NFTs. So check your wallet if you requested one of these. You'll need to go to Atomic Hub IO to check it, though. Check it.
Check it out. His name is Jonah.
His name was Jonah. He ran
So,
Atomic.
I tell you, man, those folks over there at AtomicHub.io are killing it when it comes to advancements and making such a user-friendly exchange and hub for these collectibles. Like, we've made some suggestions to them, and they've just basically said, oh, that's a good idea. We'll include it in our next one. And then boom. And like, so many changes have happened just because, we said, because engineers are engineers, and they look at things from an engineer perspective, and they go, oh, we got to do this, got to do this. They don't necessarily always look at it from a UX or UI or user perspective. So Joel and I were like, what if you did this or did this and did that? And they were like, oh, those are great ideas. And then they implemented them. And now it seems it's just so beautiful, easy to use.
Yeah. I think it's going to do it, Mr. Travis, right? I want to talk about next week so you guys don't miss this, because a lot of people are talking about gaming on Wax, and Ben from cogs.gg is going to be our guest, and he's going to explain how he's taking this 90s bottle cap POG sensation and bringing it to the blockchain world as cogs. And we actually revealed on our community meeting the other day that a prototype of what a blockchain hero cog might look like.
So they're going to have to use some really interesting physics on this, because you got to hold the slammer in a certain way and you fling it down on the pack and then make sure those cogs flip up, and then you got to collect them all. It should be interesting, but it seems like it wouldn't be very hard to create. And it looks like, I think it would be really fun on a mobile app. Like, why wouldn't there be a mobile app? Because then you could literally just slam it down. And I'm going to look and see if there's a Pogs app on the phone already. Whoa, look at that.
They marked this up, I mean, in nothing flat, gave them a Genesis card, and they're like, well, this is kind of an idea of what a Genesis, cog, special edition cog could look like. I'm like, oh, damn. I could see the whole series like that, with the colors of the borders custom to each card. So, Great Gecko's kind of got this green, glowy border on his, and so on.
There is no Pogs app that I see on Apple.
You have to, how do you play Pogs with your iPhone? You throw your phone down, you slam it.
What you would slam it like this on the thing. You try to slam it onto the thing. Same as how you're going to do it on blockchain. It's going to be the same thing.
I was being silly. Like, you're not actually going to throw your phone.
No, I know you're not actually going to throw your phone.
Actually, we came after iFart was successful years ago. We thought, I know the next one. We're going to come up with you might be an idiot if you bought iFart. You're not. It's funny. But we thought for people that are really dumb, we make iThrow, and you take your lunch, you have to take your phone and see how far you can throw it. It measures the distance.
iThrow
for those who want to get rid of their phone.
That's true. Want to buy a new $1,000 phone? Great idea.
All right, gang. Hey, anything else from you, Mr. Travis Wright?
I do not. I just want to reiterate what's been said about this industry is we are in a $1 trillion industry, and we've passed the first $100 million already. And so we are only $999.9 billion away from reaching that potential.
This is early phases, folks. This is the very beginning. You are here. You're part of the founding group of what's going to be commonplace in the future. You're going to be like telling your grandchildren, hey, remember when those two goofballs launched that thing on the blockchain and did those early NFTs? And your grandkids are going to look at you and go, shut up, Grandpa.
He's going to go, get off my lawn. You're not very nifty.
If you're watching on Theta, subscribe, please, to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and mash the bell. Hit the button so you get notifications.
Smash it.
And we'll
then
be back.
Throw your phone and tell us how far you threw it.
We'll be back next week for another nifty show. Until then, be super nifty. Not just nifty, super nifty.